Once you have a daily profile aligned and confirmed, that's when we move on to the entry logic within either the 1 o'clock or the 8 o'clock candle, which the expansion model is focused on. Here we're focused on the continuation entry. So before even considering that, we want our initial reversal confirmation to take place. That is going to be in the form of a change in state of delivery, which you see in this graphic here. Above this is bullish, so a series of down close candle. We would take the opening price of that highest down close candle. The close above would be a confirmation. If it's a single down close candle, it's just that one opening price. If it's a bearish example, it's the lowest up close candle within that series, taking that opening price. Once the market closes below that, that's the confirmation. If it's a single up close candle, even simpler, it's the opening price of that candle. The close below is the confirmation. Now, depending on which 7-hour candle this occurs within, it will change our time frame alignment. If this occurs within the 1 o'clock candle, then we're using a 30-minute and a 15-minute time frame alignment, because like we talked about before, that is a time window where the market isn't moving as fast. If it's taking place within the 8 o'clock candle, then we're using a lower time frame alignment because the market moves slightly faster with all these volatility drivers, and sometimes you need a lower time frame. So we're going to use the 15-minute and the 5-minute. The general rule with this, and when we're looking for the signature, go top to bottom. Start on that higher time frame, see if it's being offered. If it is, you have no reason to drop lower. We're dropping lower when it's necessary and when it's needed. Once you have that initial reversal confirmation in place, you can start to look for these continuation entry signatures, and the time frame alignment applies in the exact same way. You would either be looking to enter within the 1 o'clock or the 8 o'clock candle on the 7-hour time frame. If it's within the 1 o'clock candle, it's a 30-minute or 15-minute time frame alignment for these signatures here. If it's within the 8 o'clock candle, it's either a 15-minute or a 5-minute time frame alignment. Just like you understand from the price signature section for the lesson on opposing candles, the main thing that we're looking for is a bulky candle body with a wider range, whether it's a single candle or a series. That is the basis of it, but we can pair it with several confluences that create a more probable entry signature. These confluences include running out a short-term swing in that continuation and then closing through the opposing candle, having a divergence at the opposing side and then closing through the opposing candle, occurring at a volatility driver, a session open, a news release, either creating the down close candles themselves or pushing price to close through down close candles. The last one being in respect to previous opposing close candles to then have that close again in the continuation. These are all signatures to look for in addition to that general rule of opposing candles having bulky candle bodies, having a wider range. You bring these all together and it's going to give you better entries on your trades. The one common thing here across all of these is that your stop loss is always going to go at that opposing swing point that forms on the other side of these opposing candles. While I mentioned those time frame alignments earlier with the 1 o'clock and the 8 o'clock candle, these here are some variable timeframes that you can use to filter through, which are most often used to get a better view of a signature that you're already seeing on these standard timeframes. For example, here, the 1 o'clock candle, you're almost always going to go top down 30-minute to 15-minute, but there will be times where the 1 hour gives you the best perspective, and that's when you can use it. However, you don't want to drop below the 15-minute minimum within that time window. A similar thing goes with this 8 o'clock candle, the 15-minute and 5-minute. That's where you want your main focus to go, going top down 15-minute to 5. But there will be times where a higher time frame will be offered, like the 30-minute. Take that when offered. Higher time frame is always better. But there will also be times where the 5-minute, you see a signature, you see it there, but you want a clear perspective. You can filter down to the 4-minute and 3-minute as an option, but never drop down below the 3-minute time frame. Now that you understand the initial reversal confirmation, the continuation signatures that you would be putting yourself on side with, and where to place your stop loss, it's important to mention how you would actually enter on these trades in terms of your orders. The way that I always do it when I see my entry signature offered, once we get that close through the opposing candles, that is your green light to put on a trade. I always take the market entry on the open of that next candle if the risk to reward is already in my favor for where I have to put my stop loss. So this example here, once we get that close, I'm taking a market order on the open of this next candle, putting my stop loss at this low, and then I'm looking for that move for the continuation. I do this because a retest of these opposing candles is not a requirement at all. The market can continue expanding in this direction. So this is a valid entry. I want to make sure that I'm getting myself on side, putting my stop loss at the right area, I'm willing to risk those few points to not put a bet on if it will return and retest, because I just want to get onside with that valid entry.